All right, good morning. Today is December the 7th, 2020, and we will be discussing today cardiovascular system. This lecture will probably go about 2 weeks. Again, you need to read your messages. The grading system going forward will be a little different in here, so please read it and govern yourself accordingly, okay? All right, cardiovascular system, which is dealing with the heart. A closed system of the heart and blood vessels, okay? The blood in the circulatory system is a closed circuit system. Nothing leaves and nothing is gained, okay? Unless there's a puncture or a gunshot wound or anything like that, okay? You don't need to write all this down. You just need to listen to the discussion and write bits and pieces of discussion. This lecture will be, of course, on YouTube, on my channel of BizVid, and the PowerPoint will be uploaded to this week today. All right? All right. The function of the cardiovascular system is to deliver oxygen and nutrients and remove carbon dioxide and other waste products, okay? Carbon dioxide is a waste, okay? All right. So when we inhale, that's a product that we need, right? Oxygen. When we exhale is a waste that we exude when we perform that. All right. The heart pumps blood. Blood vessels allow the blood to circulate to all the parts of the body. The function of the cardiovascular system is to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and remove carbon dioxide and other waste products. Okay. Location. Okay. We all know where the heart is. We should have learned this in like the sixth grade biology. Okay. Thorax between the lungs, pointed apex toward the left hip. Okay. That's the most distal part of the heart. All right. It'll point toward the left hip. About the size of your fist and less than 1 pound. Okay. We know that the heart is all cardiovascular muscle. Yes, sir. Say it again. Of size of your fist? Yeah. But it's all muscle. So, okay. If you notice, it sits right here. Okay. Starts at about the second rib. Okay. Extends down through the diaphragm. All right. This is a what view of the heart here? Okay. What? Remember, you got here, here. What cuts across here? It'll be a test question. All right. Here we go. So if you look here, you have blue. You ever notice in your pictures you have blue and red? Blue is going to be oxygenated blood. Okay? D is going to be deoxygenated blood. Okay? So blue and red, they're going to be deoxygenated. Okay? I'm not going to charge you with knowing all those things. Okay? I'll give you what I want you to know. All right? Heart coverings. All right? You have visceral and parietal. Okay? Visceral and parietal. Know those two. Okay? You have a serous fluid that's in the space between the layers of the pericardium. Okay? When your heart is pumping, okay, your heart is pumping here, you need the serous fluid so your heart, the muscle doesn't rub. Okay? The two pericardium, they don't rub together. Because, for example, if you take your arm and you do this, and you rub it so long, what does it do? It starts to get hot, right? Or it's going to wear the skin layer down, right? So you have the serous fluid between that. So just think of putting Vaseline on your arm, okay? And now you're doing it. Now you don't have to worry about it getting hot because it's going smooth, okay? It's something between there. That is that serous fluid, okay? So you have two. You have visceral pericardium and pericardium. Know those two, okay? 3 layers of the heart wall. These are very important. Endocardium, which is the outside layer. Myocardium, which is the middle layer, mostly cardiac muscle. And endocardium, which is the inner layer, okay? And it's really easy for you to remember these, okay? If you know endocardium, endo, inner, it's the most inner layer, okay? Really easy. Myocardium, which is the middle layer, 2 M's, okay? Easy, right? Epicardium, which is the outside, okay? What is the outside of your skin? You got the dermal, which is, what is the outside, what is the top layer of your skin? Epidermis. Epi, so epi mean outside, the furthest outside. Okay? So that's the way you can remember those for a quiz. All right? All right. So you have epicardium, the outside layer, myocardium, endocardium. All right? Ready to move? Okay, so here's the diagram of all the heart pieces. Okay, this is something that will be available to you to study. Okay, the heart has 4 chambers. Okay, so these things are very important right here. What we're going to go over right now is very important because you're going to need them for EKG, all right? When we start EKG in the PCT program next semester, you're going to need this to know this information. So put EKG beside this information that you're getting, okay? The right side and left side act as separate pumps, 4 chambers, okay? You have atria and you have ventricles, okay? There are 4 chambers. There's 2 atria and 2 ventricle, okay? Right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, okay? Now, a lot of you know the heart as looking at it as looking like a fist, right? However, when I was in school, when I was in at UT Health Science, we were taught to do it like this. Look at this diagram over here. It's like a box. So the box is kind of like a heart. You can draw that on your sheet, all right? So you have right and left, right and left. So the 2 top are right atria. I mean, this is the right atria, this is the left atria. This is the right ventricle, this is the left ventricle. Okay? That's how you can remember where those chambers are on the heart. Okay? You don't have to remember it how you see a heart like we saw it back here. Okay? That is going to be very difficult to figure out where the right atrium and left atrium are. Remember, college is just regurgitating information. You'll be able to use the information when you get out in the world. You want to be able to get it and regurgitate the information to make a good grade so you can graduate. Okay? So here is how you can regurgitate the information. Okay? That's cool. All right? So you have right and left side. Okay? Blood circulation. Okay? If you look here, you have on the right side, you have red. Red represents what? What did I tell you? Oxygen-rich blood. That is blood that's oxygen and other nutrients that's going to drop things off to the body. The right side, because we're looking at this circulation in what? What position am I? Anatomical position. So this is always my left, this is always my right. This is the way we're looking at the body. That's why that gentleman is standing right here like so. Okay? So we're looking at anatomical position. Now, if you're here, right, you have left side and right side. Okay? So if I have all the nutrients and oxygen over here, I'm going to drop them off to the body, right? This is the right side in which it's coming back, but it's empty. It's dry. That's why it's blue. Okay? So now, let's correlate this to our blood pressure. Okay? So, what is our baseline blood pressure? 120 over 80. The 120 is going to be on this side. The 80 is on this side. Why? The 120, the red is blood leaving the heart. It is leaving the heart. I want to make sure that I'm able to push all of these nutrients around the body. I want to make sure they get to the body and they go where they're supposed to go. Now, the blood pressure coming back, okay. It's just blood coming back. It's empty. It's like taking an 18-wheeler and you're filling it full of stuff, right? The back is full. And the route is from here to Abilene, right? And we go from here to Abilene and we drop it off. So here's the truck that's full. We drop off everything to the store down there and we're coming back with the empty truck. But we're coming back around to the heart and lungs to fill back up again. We're going to come back. We're going to go run to Abilene again, drop it off. Why I picked Abilene, have no clue. But we're going to run to Abilene. We're going to drop it off here. We emptied. The truck's empty. Come back. Come back. We're going to get more product. Drive all the way to Abilene, drop it off, come back. Okay? It's that simple. So that is your correlation of blood pressure. Okay? So there's a question on one of your assignments. Is how does blood pressure correlate with deoxygenated and oxygenated blood? Okay? So that is your correlation. All right? Heart valves allow blood to flow only in one direction. Okay? This is very important. Okay? You have 4 valves. Okay? You have a bicuspid, a tricuspid, a pulmonary, and an aortic valve. Okay? You have 4 valves. Okay? The 4 valves are between these chambers. Okay? So you have 4 chambers and 4 valves. Okay? So you have a right atrium and a right ventricle. All right? There's a valve right there between the two. That is your bicuspid valve. Okay? Now, make sure you put EKG by these notes. Okay? Make sure you put EKG by these notes, or ECG if you want to be more up to date. They named it ECG. Okay? So, and the reason why is that those valves have a certain timing. Okay? That's why I'm telling you to put EKG beside it. Okay? Because we're going to come back to that. Now, when you get ready to arrange your notes, go through and highlight with a marker that you're always going to have that this is going to be EKG. Okay? So, when the heart pumps, right? Heart's pumping like this, right? So it's pushing blood. So blood is going to go from the right atrium to the right ventricle. But there's a bicuspid valve right there. It's a one-way valve that operates like this. And we'll get to the SA node and the AV nodes here probably tomorrow, okay? But the valves open and shut like so. One way, cut. One way, shut. It's a one-way valve. So once the blood goes from here to here, it cannot go backwards. That valve will not allow blood to go backwards. So remember, this is a one-way closed system. All right? So the blood can't go backwards. All right? Is that all right? We got it? Okay. Blood can't go backwards. All right? So it goes from here to here. So there's an assignment where you're going to have to diagram what way the blood is flowing and how and what it's going through. Okay? So you're going to have all those bicuspid, you're going to have bicuspid, tricuspid, pulmonary, and aortic valve. You're going to need to label those. Okay? And you're going to need to know those. Now, on the quiz, you may not have a diagram. You may just have the wording. Okay? The wording, so you should know tricuspid, bicuspid, all those things. Okay? All right? Valves open as blood is pumped through, held in place by chordae or heartstrings, closed to prevent backflow. Okay? So the valves open and close. So we're going to leave that diagram up there because then tomorrow we're going to put the AV node here and the SA node. And those two nodes are your electrical boxes. Those electrical boxes is what fires to let the heart, the right atrium, tell the bicuspid valve, hey, we need to open so we can let this blood through. And then we need to close. Because that is directly related to your EKG training. Your EKG training will correlate with that electricity. That's what EKG is. Okay?